If you'd like to call in today, please dial 434-394-0924. You are listening to WFLO AM 870 in Farmville. We are your hometown radio station, and we'd love to hear from you. I guess I got to play that call flow music, right? What a week. What a week, what a week. We have been here, there, and everywhere. That's a Dr. Seuss little quote there. It is good to be here today. Now that I'm waking up a little bit, I do love my coffee, but it's been hard to keep that coffee going. But thank goodness we got a coffee pot here now, so we should be able to wake up. Hopefully we won't be too jacked up on coffee. Hey, good morning there, Mr. John. How are you doing?
Hi.
Yeah. Are you ready for this week to end?
Yeah, I was born ready for this week to end.
I was kind of thinking maybe a few days ago it would have done that, but not so lucky. What do we have on the calendar today for entertainment? What would you like? Oh, look at that. I was trying to put up a whole bunch of stories earlier. Mm-hmm. I got so many stories up that I couldn't even
overload.
I couldn't even move the mouse, so I had to start all over again. Let's see. Today, National Calendar Day. I always enjoy the National Calendar Day. We can briefly go through this. It is National Cocktail Day, March 24th. Wonder why they chose this day out of...
Shaken, not stood.
That's right. That's right. I'll put it on the table over there. I'll get right to it. Thank you very much.
Lovey, hand me my slippers.
I hope nobody just tuned in. They're going like, oh, man, they had some really weird DJ dudes on WFLO.
I'll be doing your show today.
The many, many voices of John Staten. It's a little scary. You think about
all it is I've watched way too much television as a kid. That's all it is.
Yeah, I try to think of what's actually going on up there.
I'm the poster child for why you shouldn't let kids watch TV too much.
It's terrifying, I'm telling you. If you could see it, watch it in live action.
And what's really sad is that the voices I do, young people, is he possessed? They don't know these characters exactly. I'm doing.
Yeah, well, you are possessed. There's no doubt about
that's true,
too. Sorry. Okay, National Cocktail Day. Celebrate your favorite cocktail on March 24th. Whatever you like, fruity drink blended on the rocks. And they're not telling me why. Mocktail Virgin or the real thing. Celebrate lime, bitters. It's probably no surprise that every month on the calendar celebrates a cocktail. The only exception is April. And since it's National Alcohol Awareness Month, it makes sense to take that month off.
Do you celebrate by watching Cocktail with Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you like that?
It didn't bother me. I mean, I don't consider it like one of the greatest films of all time or anything. But for what it was, it's fine.
It was an interesting time for him. He was kind of
Elizabeth Shue in it, and I'm always in for that. So
he was kind of at the top of his career at that point.
Well, that's when Tom Cruise started that whole thing. Whatever movie I'm in, I'm the best at whatever it is I do.
Yeah.
And Top Gun sort of kind of catapulted him to that.
That's a good point.
He's been doing that same role pretty much ever since.
And then he's got his Scientology to, fall back on if his acting career doesn't.
Yeah, I guess
keep going.
But there's Travolta's one of those as well.
Yeah.
There's more than just those two.
Oh, yeah, no. And both of those guys have done amazing things. Who would you rather go to dinner with? Travolta or Cruise?
I would imagine Travolta, I guess.
That's who I would choose.
Yeah.
I think he's funnier.
Yeah. But both of them have gotten somewhat odder as time has gone.
It's true.
But there was Travolta, I think. Cruise, I don't know. Cruise comes off a little fake to me sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I'm sure he'd say the same about you. No.
John, you're fake.
John, you're calling me fake? He is an actor, after all.
Well, there is something to be said there.
Oh, my. Yeah. Did you see Michael? John Travolta's Michael.
That's the one where he was the angel or something.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah, he was like a drunk angel.
I'm an angel, like I'm an angel, you know what I mean? Amazing.
It's hard to think about Travolta and then like flash back to Grease, watching him do Grease Lightning, and then Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's a different world.
Up your nose with a rubber hose,
All right. Guess what else it is here today on March 24th? It is National Cheesesteak Day.
Cheesesteak Day.
Did I stutter? I
no.
said cheese.
I'm doing like Ed McMahon. He would clarify for Johnny, and then Johnny would look at him like, "You're fired."
Again. So who has the cheesesteak in town? I know if Danny was here, he'd let us know who has the best cheesesteak in town.
Right.
So are you a cheesesteak eater?
Steakums used to be my thing.
Steakum.
Do you remember those?
Those frozen?
Yeah.
Those are disgusting. But I loved them too.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they're disgusting, but I love them.
I was never really a fan of the cheese.
I can't honestly say I've really ever had one.
Really?
A cheesesteak.
If you have a good one, it's an amazing experience. If you have a bad one, it's just heartburn.
Well, that can be said for anything, right?
It's true. It's true.
That was bad pizza.
Now, there's a place down in Tucson where I was going to college that had the best cheesesteak.
Okay.
In Tucson. I don't know why there.
Tucson, Arizona.
So why is it that the cheesesteak is supposed to be from Philadelphia? Why do they call it the Philadelphia?
Philly cheesesteak? I don't know. Maybe that's where it was first. I don't know. So
National Cheesesteak Day on March 24th not only celebrates a fantastic sandwich, but recognizes one of this nation's greater debates. Who created this deliciousness?
Do you have the answer?
Well, I'm going to scroll down here if it allows me to scroll down and see if I can find that out.
All right.
It says here that it's March Madness for a cheese steak. Pat and Gino's square off at 10 a.m., followed by... I'm reading this and trying to figure out why it's even in here. It doesn't tell me... Oh, here we go. However, the credit is given to a hot dog vendor in the 1930s, Pat Oliver. According to Philadelphia's a tourist site, Pat's King of Steaks sits on the original location, and it is still growing strong. I'm pretty sure nobody really wanted or needed that information, but we gave it to you anyway because that's the way we are. It is also National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. All right, you got to give it to me. You like the covered raisin?
I don't like raisins, period.
Did you ever like them?
No, I learned that as a young kid. We were watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, me and some cousins, and they came back out of the kitchen with these little red boxes of the raisins.
The lovely little red boxes. Yes. With the little lady on it.
Yes, yes. And I saw that they had them, so like any kid, I go, well, those must be tasty, whatever those things are. So I grabbed my box, and I walk in and watch the cartoon, pop one in, and next thing I know, I'm going, and I have maybe tried once or twice since then. I'll tell you a nice story. I once grabbed a cookie off of there was like a family reunion of some kind, and someone baked cookies. Well, unbeknownst to me, the cookies I grabbed I thought were chocolate chip were not. They were raisin cookies. Yeah. And I took a bite, and it verified what I had tasted in that red box way back when. I am not a fan of the raisin.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to know out there if people like raisins or not.
I'm sure there are people that are.
I don't think it's controversial yet.
I have a picky palate, is what Chris Wood said.
Do you think we can make this political in any way, shape, or form?
I'm sure we could.
All right, which party do raisins belong to?
I have no idea. Dried up prunes? I don't know.
I went through a period of...
Probably both.
Yeah. I really liked raisins for a period of time.
Okay.
And, it'd be like I just eat raisins all the time. I'm strange like that. And it's been decades since I've had them.
I could just eat anything. I wish I didn't have this palate that was very, picky.
Picky palate.
Picky palate, yeah.
That's going to be your nickname.
Picky palate.
John Staten Picky Palate.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they are strange. Even if I was in a mood for raisins, I don't like the chocolate-covered things. They don't really put chocolate on it. They just put wax around it.
That's what it tastes
like to me. Okay. It has no flavor whatsoever. So,
Well, that's no
let me
good.
see. That's all for national days. It's sort of amazing, huh?
It is.
Shall we quickly go through possibly some today in histories?
Certainly.
All right. I think I want to go through these quickly. I have some celebrity news that I want to get to for sure.
Okay.
All righty. This thing usually starts out like in, 1418. But today, it's starting out, March 24th, 1989, the supertanker Exxon Valdez ran aground on a reef in Alaska's Prince William Sound and began leaking an estimated how many millions of gallons? 11 millions of gallons. That's a lot of gallons of crude.
Up from the ground came some bubbling crude oil, that is. Black gold, Texas tea.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Pretty much.
The best part of that, the intro was the old lady sitting way up on top of the truck.
Oh, Granny, yeah.
Yeah, Granny was up there with her rocker.
Yeah!
I wonder why people aren't calling today. Yeah, it's probably good. Preserve your mental health. Stay in bed. Enjoy this day. But seriously, folks, if you'd like to talk about something, if you'd like to make us laugh, if you'd like us to make you laugh, give us a call, 434-394-0924. We're going to be here all day.
We're here all week.
We're here all week, yeah. Chris loves saying that.
Does she?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she does. She said it a few times.
She does.
Well, I just pictured, she was dropping the mic over there.
Dropping the
Perfect,
mic.
wouldn't it? Can't you see her doing that?
Yeah.
I'm here all week. Boom. All right. On this date in history, 1765, Britain enacted the Quartering Act, requiring American colonists to provide temporary housing to British soldiers. Mm-hmm. I don't think that went over really well. I remember learning that in history and class in junior high or high school, whatever it was, thinking it was a bit of a strange ask there, Yeah. It gave the, it gave the American colonists all the opportunity in the world to, take advantage of that situation. But in 1832, a mob in Hiram, Ohio, attacked, tarred, and feathered Mormon leaders Joseph Smith Jr. and Sidney Rigdon. I don't remember hearing that. It was 1832, so I wasn't around, but this is not something that I remember hearing in the history classes at all.
No.
No?
Can't say that I remember that.
Okay. You got to help me out here because I kind of got my back turned to the clock.
Okay.
And, I do not want to miss those birthdays because I did that one day, and it was not a pretty sight. There was...
Don't worry. I'll bark when it's time.
There was blood everywhere. Just kidding. You are listening to WFLO. I'm Larry Burr, and in with me is John Staten.
And the number to call is 434-394-0924.
Oh, wait. I didn't get that. Could you repeat it for me?
434-394-0924. Call now to win.
I'm hard of hearing, not stupid.
There's nothing to win, by the way.
Hey, I heard that we had some tickets coming our way for something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's for, but
we'll
I'm looking.
find out when we get them, I guess.
All right. Looks like we got somebody here. This is WFLO. You are on the air.
Hey, good morning. Very good morning, John. How you guys doing on this fabulous Friday?
All right. How are you, sir?
Okay. All right. I got to talk to the radio dudes. I got a question about the radio biz, man.
Okay.
Why do stations still play Money for Nothing since it's been edited down to almost nothing?
I think you know why.
Exactly.
I think you're a smart guy.
Well, no, but I mean, like most of the song is gone, So, but then again, though,
The edited version all my life, pretty much, and
it's odd. The radio biz is odd. So, okay.
well, that you're not going to get an argument here from me on that.
All right. Well, John, next time you play Steve Miller, play the longer version, will you?
I'll see what I can do. Okay.
Good man. Okay, first time caller, long time listener. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Hey, thank
thanks.
you so much for calling.
Okay, bye.
He sounds like he's in radio.
Yeah.
He does. He has that radio voice. He sounds like he's in radio.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Put in a resume. Just never know what might come out of all of that. Oh, what was I thinking about that, though? Those long songs. Something happened yesterday.
You played one? You played one, or were
I was
looking
trying to
for
remember.
one?
No, I played one. It was,
Okay.
it was like 8 minutes long. I was like, Oh, I think it was the Edmund Fitzgerald, Gordon Lightfoot,
Oh, okay.
which I really enjoy that song, but it's a bit long at times. All right, let's see if we can find something in the celebrity news.
Go for it.
When do you want to do the celebrity birthdays? Do you want me to go ahead and rattle off a few of those?
rattle some off now, and that'll get us to the actual birthday.
Smart idea. You're a smart individual there.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
So I think we have to look in today in history. Woohoo!
History.
All right. This always starts out with the oldest people going into the youngest people, and for me, more often times than not, I do not recognize the older people. Rock musician Lee Oscar is 75. Do you know him?
No.
Nick Lowe, 74.
Nick Lowe. That sound... Nick Lowe?
Doesn't say.
I was thinking Rob Lowe's brother or something, but
His son.
no.
Son. Here's one that you might like is Doogie Thompson.
I know Doogie Howser, but not Doogie. no, I do know.
Supertramp.
Yeah.
72. It's a little older than I was expecting on that one. Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer, 67. Let's see who else. Country rock musician Patterson Hood. Drive-by truckers. She is 59 today. All right, where are we going? Christian rock musician Chad Butler from Switchfoot is 49 today. All right, we're getting there. We're getting close to our own birthdays. Rock musician Benj Gershman, OAR, is 43 today. All righty.
Cool.
So what do you want to do first? You want me to do the birthdays, or you want me to do Bank of Charlotte?
Bank of Charlotte is sponsoring our weather, right?
Yeah.
I guess you could do the weather first.
You want to do the weather? That sounds like a good idea. We haven't talked about the weather in a little bit. So what's happening today is we are...
Go ahead and play the spot first if you want. Announce that, and then...
I'm pulling up the forecast for some
Oh,
reason.
you're looking for it. He's got way too much stuff on that computer, folks.
I hate it when I do. Okay. Here we go. This edition of the weather is brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County. It's that time.
Is it me, or did you forget to do the weather?
Is it W? I apologize for that.
I'd wait till this. You can just pot that bed down and then and now give the weather since I don't think you did.
Hey, can you play that birthday thing again?
You could if you wanted.
Yeah,
I tell you what, you find the weather and I'll look for that bed for you.
Oh no, I got it. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Sorry about that, folks. A little confusion here, but we are going to get you all the information that you want and what you need. So it is 61 degrees outside right now with this humidity at 73%. The wind's picking up just to 6 miles an hour out of the southwest. Barometer is only 29.9 inches and dew point 53 degrees. Today is going to get up to 82 degrees with a very, very, very slight chance of rain this afternoon. Tonight there's a 30% chance of showers with a low of 48. All of this rain is less than 0.1%, and it's only for very short periods of time. So on Saturday, there's a 40% chance of showers with a high of 75. And it looks like on Saturday, that rain's going to be between 9 and 3 p.m. I looked on my phone, and it looked like it was only about an hour where it's actually going to rain and not very much.
Cool.
So it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. Saturday night, it's going to be some chance of showers, low of 54. And then Sunday's a beautiful day with a high of 76. Going into the work week next week, overnight on Sunday, it will be mostly clear with a slight chance of showers, a low of 48, and then 68 on Monday when it will be partly sunny. Why? How do they decide that? Partly sunny versus partly cloudy? Is it whichever has more time of sunny versus,
I'm not a weather guru, so
what?
I know one's easier to say than the other. I like saying partly sunny better than I do partly cloudy. Syllables, I guess.
Oh, all those syllables. Oh, my goodness. But I thought we were getting paid by the syllable. Okay, so
say a few syllables.
Let me see here. So that was the weather, and if I remember correctly, it was brought to you by.
Go ahead, hit it. I mean, you say it.
Charlotte County, with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brunel, and their loan office
Charlotte County
in downtown Farmville.
Yeah, the Bank of Charlotte County.
Didn't I say the Bank of Charlotte County?
You just said Charlotte County.
Really?
But I knew what you meant.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. It wouldn't make any sense to anybody else out there.
And since you've already played the weather bit, I guess you can...
So that was the weather, and now we have the birthday.
Yeah.
All right. So the birthday calendar is brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
Good. All right.
Happy birthday
I was going to
you. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
All right, enough of that. All right. I tried to compile a list, and obviously I was not successful in doing
Such
that.
tomfoolery.
Oh, well. All right, here we go. So for today, March 24th, Friday, by the way, and we've got Ron Timma is what it looks like, Timma.
Happy birthday,
Timma.
Ron.
Yeah. Peyton Clybourne, Norma Spencer, John Morales, and let's see, Bitsy Higgins.
Bitsy. I haven't heard
Not
that.
Betsy, Bitsy.
I haven't heard that.
No, I haven't either.
Time. That's nice.
And let's see. So I don't get lost. I'm going to go ahead and do the anniversary for today because I'm going from one to another here with the birthdays, trying to keep them in order here. Brandon and Haley Wallace having an anniversary. I'm sorry, and Bitsy is no longer with us. I forgot about the crosses on the calendar. But see, if I don't do this every day, I get out of practice.
I think everybody's kind of done the same thing.
Well, good.
Since I've
it's
been
not
here.
just me. Okay.
No.
I do apologize for that.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Of course I am. All right. So we've covered the 24th, and so now we move on to the 25th. Birthdays for the 25th. This will be Saturday, if you're keeping score at home.
Yes.
David Neal, Madison White Higgins, B.K. Redford, Gene Jennings, Ronald and Deborah Dunn, an anniversary couple, as well as Bob and Doris Schott, S-C-H-O-D-T.
Sounds good.
Schott. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Wonder what the origins of
I
that
can
is.
butcher a
European.
name better than anybody. Also, Tommy Mason on Saturday, the 25th. And do we have any on this list? Yes, we do. Stephanie Waycaster of Powhatan on the 25th. Now we're doing the 26th on Sunday.
Sunday.
You got to cover the whole weekend. All right, here we go. On the 26th, happy early birthday going out to Thomas Bishop and Elvis Dodge. Elvis Dodge, yeah.
Wow.
With a name like Elvis, it has to be good. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
All right. And
Thank you.
26,
Pass the mashed potatoes.
we don't have any on that list. And how about on this list? Yes, Pat Mize of Dillon. And those are the birthdays for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anniversaries as well. And if yours falls on any of those days and we missed it, happy birthday, happy anniversary.
What was I thinking?
not
happy
sure.
birthday. Happy
I'm not a
birthday,
mind
everybody.
reader.
I hope everybody
Your name is
Hello.
Your name is
Should I get a card and put it on my forehead?
Yeah. A couple
That
of
was
wavy
great.
lines.
I guess that didn't really translate very well, me putting a card on top of my head to try to emulate Johnny Carson. All right. So what? You know what? I want to make sure that they know, the folks out there, that those birthdays were brought to you by Terry Atkins. For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson PC on Main Street in Farmville. We
Very good,
appreciate
very good.
them supporting us, and which means they're supporting you. The number here is 434-394-0924. We'd love to hear from you. Anything you'd like to talk about. You're listening to WFLO AM 870 Farmville and streaming online at WFLO.net.
Do you want to read about some of these things that were laid upon my desk here?
Laid upon my table.
Looks like Epps announces a second run for sheriff. Sheriff L.A. Tony Epps has announced that he will seek a second term as the sheriff of Prince Edward County. Epps, who is an independent, will be on the ballot for the November 7th general election. And Epps states that it has been an honor to serve as sheriff since taking office in 2020. Time goes by like that. I'm excited to run again and hope that the citizens will elect me for another term. And he really enjoys working with the men and women in the sheriff's office. And he says, we have a great team, and I'm proud of the things we have accomplished in my first term and are working hard towards becoming re-accredited and keeping the county clean and fighting the war on drugs. And we also are working hard towards community policing, such as Crime Solvers and Neighborhood Watch, and keeping our citizens safe daily. Just wanted to pass that along since it was passed in front of me.
Well, thank you.
And
I appreciate that. When is that election happening?
November.
Really?
All elections usually happen in November, right?
Good point. Well, not all of them, actually. but
Well, most of them.
yes.
The ones we know about.
It seems
anyway.
early. My point, really. My point is, it seems awfully early to be campaigning.
It'll be here before you know it. Well, you got the, supposed presidential candidates already throwing their hats in the ring.
Yeah, I guess we should just avoid politics altogether.
Oh, I'm not talking politics. I'm talking elections. They do start this early.
I know. They didn't used to, that's for sure.
Oh, wow.
So I had a question for you.
Sure.
Oh, he's talking about the war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever see that documentary with, I can't remember who it was, on the crisis, the opioid crisis?
I didn't
specifically Oxy.
I'm aware of it, but I have not watched it, no.
I don't know why that triggered that, because there is a war on drugs. I've heard is a war that's been lost. It's a strange kind of idea anymore, but I think we understand what they're trying to do. That's for sure.
Well, it's just like anything else. The war on cancer, right?
Yeah.
I see where HIV seems to be. They may have found a cure.
I know, yeah.
But that disease has not nearly been around as long as cancer, and yet we seem to have not found a cure for that yet. And
well, we don't have a cure for the common cold either, right? So,
yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah,
where's all the emphasis going?
Where's the black matter in all this?
I don't know.
Where is it? Where's my science? All right, so what do you think of Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum. Mm-hmm. Interesting actor.
I think he's a fascinating-looking person. I also find his energy really nice, too. He just seems like a nice guy.
He's usually if he's in a film, he tends to be the bright spot.
Yeah.
He was in, countless movies.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. The Big Chill. Wasn't he in that?
I don't remember that, probably. Yeah, he's been in so many. He was The Fly.
Yes, the same guy.
Independence Day.
Yeah, he was in Big Chill. He was in Silverado, of all things, the Western from the 80s with Kevin Costner's first film.
Ah, okay. I forgot about that.
Because he was supposed to, and I'm talking Costner now, Costner was supposed to be in The Big Chill. Matter of fact, the guy that they're referring to throughout that whole film, who committed suicide, he's dead, that's him at the beginning, but you can't tell it's him. You don't see his face is what I'm trying to get at. They're suiting. It looks like he's combing his hair and he's putting on a suit, but it's really his body, and they're preparing him for the funeral.
Okay.
And so anyway, he didn't get any screen time for that film. So the same guy that made that, Lawrence Kasdan, I believe, made Silverado. So he promised Costner, look, you didn't make it into the film for The Big Chill, so I'm going to put you in Silverado. And that's what started his career
That's
off.
kind of funny. Hey, Costner, you didn't make the cut. Oops.
Oopsie.
Yeah, no, I've always been a fan of Goldblum. I don't think there's anything he's ton that I didn't appreciate.
Yeah,
somehow or
well, he's
another.
in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
The
he's
ori-
the
like
main
the-
guy. He's
I-
been
I
in.
know
I
he's in
think
the-
he's been in all of them. Actually.
He's in the original, and I think he's in the third one. I don't remember the
second
one.
one. I thought
As
he was
well.
in all of them.
He probably is, but I can't remember.
Well, he's
Sure.
in the news again.
Okay.
It says Jeff Goldblum is spending one short day in the Emerald City. I guess I should read the headline.
Okay.
It says Jeff Goldblum confirms his role in Wicked movie. So Wicked, to me, I went up to New York with my son last summer, and we went to this play. We went to this Broadway play at the Gershwin Theater. It was awesome. It was incredibly good.
Yeah.
Have you gone up there and done any Broadway
Never
shows?
been to New York.
Really?
Nope.
Are you one of those people that just don't ever want to see it, or is it kind of a bucket list thing? You'd like to do it for the experience?
Well, I'll answer it in a roundabout way. When I was
Of
younger,
course,
I
that's-
really pictured myself going to New York when
Like-
I was younger.
Like living there? Or
Yeah, or something like that.
Making a career. Mm-hmm.
career. And then somewhere along the way, I just got very gun shy about going to New York. I don't know why.
I was brought up that way too. There was this like fear of New York, but at that time, it was when New York Times Square was all XXX and that kind of environment,
Right.
And they cleaned all that out. Yeah, we were told like you can't go to New York or you're going to get robbed. But anyway,
I have no desire to go.
Really?
I'm just not big on overpopulated, congested type places. I'm just not big on that sort of thing.
I don't know. I can't say that I really like that, but I don't. New York is magical to me, but I
I may change my tune if I
ever.
ever went, but I have no desire to go.
The first time Alicia and I went, we went and saw a play called Drunken Shakespeare. It was hilarious.
They are not to That's the question.
Are you okay there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I need to call 911?
You're fine, go
Somebody
ahead.
call her.
So did you like it?
We loved it, and the premise of this whole thing is when they forget a line, they have to take a drink, and so by the end of this thing, they are so drunk that they can barely remember their lines.
Did they
and-
purposely study their lines?
Yeah, actually, you could tell these guys were all brilliant.
Okay.
You know, they were at the top of their games there. But yeah, it was fun. The cool thing was we come out of there. It was down on Broadway. We're coming on to Times Square, and there's just a million people out there. It is people next to people. We had no idea what was going on. It was when they had the Skywire walkers. It was a brother and sister team,
Wow.
and they started at each end of Times Square, walked all the way across, switched places, and continued on. So we were happy. But we did get into that Times Square. People, you're packed in there so hard, so tightly that you can't get anywhere from there. But anyway, Wicked. So that's what I thought was Wicked. But do you know what Wicked is?
No.
Let's see. It's an anticipated film adaptation of the Broadway hit musical in the role of the Wizard. Oh, he's going to be the Wizard. That
Of
is
Oz?
cool. Basically.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
That's what was so cool about Wicked is that it is kind of a prequel to what am I thinking? Wizard of Oz.
It is?
Took me, yeah. Oh, yeah. It brings in those characters and explains why there's the conflict between the good witch and the bad witch.
Well, they
and-
did that in a movie sometime back.
Did they?
Is it Mila Kunis or somebody like
Gesundheit.
that? Yeah, her too. And
You're not supposed to swear on the radio.
Well.
This is a family show.
yeah.
I'll shut
Anyway, and I can't name the other actors, but supposedly it was Oz as a younger person, and they show the two sisters, like the good witch and the bad witch, and all this sort of stuff. And
yeah.
I don't remember what it was called. It made that much of an impression on me.
Yeah, I see that. If somebody out there knows what John's talking about,
Give us a call now at 394-0924, area code 434.
Was that
394-0924. Yeah.
I thought that's what you said. All right. So, yeah. Goldblum showing his kids Jurassic Park. All right, let's see what else we got here on the entertainment. Do you know about Love is Blind? Do you know that TV show? I think it's one of these.
It's a TV show. I haven't seen
It's
it.
like a live, Big Brother type of thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to bring us in here.
The color.
It's WFLO. You're on the air.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I must say that I agree wholeheartedly with you when you said one of your former callers sounded like a radio voice.
You did.
I thought, that guy is in radio or ought to be in radio. And he sounded a little bit like Slam Duncan, but I'm not sure that was the case. But anyway, I really, really thought that, and I was surprised when you said the same thing.
Well,
John.
the only thing that throws me is that he was asking about why certain radio stations don't play certain versions of songs. That's the only thing that makes me question maybe he's not. But go ahead. Go ahead with your question you were going to ask.
I don't have a question,
Okay.
but I have tried to get you on your main line all week to thank you so very, very much for making my last Friday evening perfect.
Well, you're welcome.
Do you know who's calling you?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
I got in the car, in the parking lot. I left work, got in the car started, and there was the Bad Mama Jamma.
Now I
Out
definitely know
of
who it
the
is. But I
car,
knew who it was
in the
from the
parking
beginning.
lot, boogieing around. Everybody that passed me was laughing.
I bet.
I couldn't, I cannot sit still when I hear that song.
Yeah.
And anyway, thank you so much.
Well, you have a
I
good day.
listen for it every Friday evening, but sometimes I have to make stops on the way home
Well,
and
that-
all, and I
yeah.
don't get to hear the whole thing.
Right.
But anyway, thank you, dear, and y'all keep up the good work. I miss Brochan terribly,
Yeah, we do too.
and I enjoy it when Chris Wood comes in, and all the prayers in the world for Francis.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good one.
All right, you too. Take care.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye.
I love our callers. Love them dearly.
Yep.
So this is somebody you
Betty
know?
Ike, her husband used to be on Flow. He used to do this show.
Really?
Gene Ike, yeah.
Wow.
Gene Ike behind the mic is how he used to say it.
How long ago was that?
Wow, Gene, that's been longer than I can remember, to be honest with you. I mean, Gene had been there for years. He had been there since the mid to early 70s, something like way before I was even thought of, I guess. Not
Yeah.
way before, but in the vicinity of.
Right,
And he did the Call Flow show for years. That was his thing. Yeah, so we really owe this to Gene.
Wow.
Gene was the one that did it.
Did he come up with the idea of the show?
I
or-
assume so. Now, Francis or somebody like that, for the history of it, or Brochan could give you
Right.
way more detailed information on that. I just, that part of the history I know from listening more than I do actual inside knowledge. I know some things, but not everything about who started what, whose idea was what, and all that. I just know that Gene, I think that was his baby, though. I think he started that.
Cool.
Or he was responsible for it becoming a thing, and that they continued doing it throughout the years.
It seems like such a revolution or evolution.
Yeah, I know what you
Revolution.
meant. Yeah.
An evolution of this whole of the station, of the whole entertainment, industry of radio in the first place. It's changed so much over the years.
Yeah, just like everything else.
Yeah. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of stayed very similar.
In some
I can
aspects,
remember
yeah.
formats like back in the 80s that
Yeah.
were very similar to what we're doing now. So.
Well, I guess I'm a creature of old habit in some respects.
Yeah, you think maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I do love our callers, and I greatly
Yep.
appreciate them calling.
Thank you for
know.
calling.
And Brochan is I think thriving in his new position.
Seems so.
He's getting used to it, or I don't know. He it's what he does, so he's good at it. Just about anything he's at. And I saw Fran yesterday. He is doing well, but
Good.
he does appreciate those guards and letters. I was sick the other day, right?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, right.
But go ahead.
So, I'm feeling terrible. Actually, I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
Good.
And I get a text from friends like, "Oh, I heard you're not feeling well. I really hope you feel better." And that means so much. From
Fran's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a golden child, and he has beautiful hair, by the way. He does. If anybody agrees with me, call
he's
us
got a
up.
nice head of hair. I envy him.
434-394-0924. And it's difficult coming in new, not having the experience and that type of stuff, into huge shoes all over the place here. And nobody's asking
Well,
either
even
one
somebody
of us
that's
to fill
been
them,
in it for a while, like me, it's still not much easier.
right.
Oh, John's that goofy kid that's on in the afternoons.
It's fun,
Back
though.
when I was referred to as a kid.
It's definitely fun. Well, and I have to shout out for you because you were working on the songs all the time to make them better. When he called, I was like, "Oh man, you're speaking to the right person," but nobody has any clue of how much work you do.
I
my
try.
friend. Yeah, he does. He tries very hard and succeeds. All right, let's go back to some entertainment.
Checks in the mail there, Larry.
Yeah, you're welcome. Could you get that sandwich for me in a large roast beef?
Yeah.
Let's see. It says here, Rob Lowe says acting alongside his son in Unstable, quote, unquote, is a dream come true, quote, unquote. So I saw Rob Lowe in a movie a couple of nights ago called Doggone. And it was based on a true story about a college kid gets a dog. He's completely irresponsible. The dog runs away. His parents help him find it. It becomes almost a national news thing for finding this dog. They find the dog, happy ending, blah blah blah. It was good. It was well done. But I hadn't heard anything about this new movie. But I could imagine Rob Lowe seems like one of those nice people. It seems like he's actually chilled out a lot in the older years.
Yeah.
So. I'm trying to see if there's any really good information on this other than he is really looking forward to working with his son. And I can imagine now, I'd love to work with my son. Hey, my son's coming to visit me at the end of April. Maybe we could bring him in here and he could do a little radio with us.
Why not? I'm all for that.
All right, then. Let's see. Andy, go Owen Wilson.
Yeah. The thing with him, he's in a movie now that was speculated that he's playing Bob Ross, but technically he's not, or something.
Huh.
Something's going on where he's got the hair like Bob Ross,
Okay.
and he's painting, and he's got a TV show and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know the story. I don't know if that's what you're getting ready to pull up or
Well,
not.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because this says Owen Wilson on a Wild Loki.
Unless I'm getting
season 2.
maybe I'm getting the Wilsons wrong. Is he the guy with the broken-looking nose? Then that's the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he has one of the most fascinating faces. But it is hard sometimes not to be staring at his nose, especially if it's a really big screen. It gets scary. And it's times like that I wish I didn't buy the high-def TV, but it's only occasionally I have it. So did you ever watch Wild Loki?
No, I have no clue what that is.
Me either, but I love Loki. I mean, not,
You mean the Norse god?
So, okay, yeah, basically, yes. So, in the movie, the Avengers movie,
Yes.
Loki,
Yeah.
the Hulk, the end of the movie, the Hulk picks Loki up by the feet and just starts slamming him
This
around.
would be the first Avengers, by the way.
Yeah, like a rag doll. And
Yeah.
I swear, I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard in my entire life.
It was a funny scene.
It was, okay. Whew, I'm glad you thought so.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little afraid of
Well,
it.
that was really the only really good one. Civil War was okay.
I know what you mean.
Towards the end, I was starting to lose interest. Well, they made the Hulk so unmasculine by that last film that it was like, why even have him in there?
I didn't really recognize that, but
Well, when you got to put the Hulk in a battle suit to fight, and he's barely doing anything anyway.
that's what kind of bugs me is their powers seem to have a different level of intensity depending on what they're actually doing.
All that boils down to is who the writer is.
It is, and
It's like when Superman versus Batman. It was like Superman forgot a lot of his powers in that battle.
As long as he didn't forget his underwear.
I forgot super speed. I forgot a lot of things. And it's like, where he was using them instinctively against in his first film against Zod. I know I'm going off on a geek tangent here, but I don't know. I just find that awkward. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, if you insist.
This looks like a job for Larry.
How about Rosie O'Donnell? I mean, she's
still around?
Yeah, but I feel stupid about this, but I can't really remember what Rosie was known for. I remember there was
she was
controversy.
At one time considered a comedian.
Oh.
Wasn't she in like a League of Their Own? And
Onward and Upward, I guess is her.
Her big break was a League of Their Own with Madonna was in that.
Wow.
I can't remember who the main actress was.
You are a wealth of information.
Useless information, yes.
My brain can't hold on to those things, but hey, just
I can't remember
I just don't remember what she. There's a picture here of her. She doesn't look very happy.
She had a TV show there for a while.
Is that what it was?
I mean, like one of those, she's the host and they bring the guest on and all that. She had a talk show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
At one point.
Yes. So.
But she's been in other films. She was in that awful sequel to Stakeout with Emilio Estevez and Richard Dreyfuss. She was in the second one. I've never watched the second one.
Really?
No, because I saw her in it. No,
really? Yeah.
It looked dumb just from the previews.
That's Rosie out there. She's coming in. She's going to kick your back in, man.
Oh, well.
You got to watch it.
Get in line, honey.
Really? We got numbers. Just take a number at the front door.
It's like bingo.
And take your schwack over, John.
B12.
All right, dude. I think we did all right. What do you think?
We passed muster.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for entertaining me this morning during the Call Flow Show. We are going to sign off here any second. Is there anything you want me to bring up before we go?
I have nothing to bring up. What are you doing this weekend?
As little as possible.
Catching some Z's.
Yeah, I need some rest.
Okay.
But that never works.
No, it doesn't.
It's like, okay, I got all kinds of stuff. It's almost time to start mowing, dude. I think I might mow just to get rid of all the leaves I didn't rake up.
More chores, huh? Great.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing this weekend. Chores. So, let's see here. We can wrap this up. This is Larry Burr and Jason Statham. You're listening
Jason?
to
John.
See,
I'm not Jason Statham. I'm John Statham. There's a big difference, but we got to go.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. Bye. 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 Bye.